My beloved child, I did not bring you here by accident. I reached across time, across screens, across distractions, just to get this message in front of your eyes. I've paused heaven for a moment because this moment is that urgent. Not for the world, not for the masses, for you. You've been feeling it, haven't you? That invisible weight pressing against your chest, that quiet whisper inside saying, there's something more. And you've tried to brush it off, silence it with busyness, scroll past it with noise. But I've waited for you, right here, right now, because I am about to unveil what your soul has been aching to know. Don't skip. Don't walk away now. Something huge is waiting for you in the words you're about to hear. You have no idea how many battles I fought in silence to keep this moment open for you. When you cried and no one knew I knew. When you smiled while breaking inside I saw. And when you whispered prayers that sounded too weak to matter, I heard them thunder in heaven. You weren't overlooked. You were being positioned. The delay wasn't rejection. It was a setup. A divine setup. You see closed doors. I see divine timings. You see missed chances. I see preserved purpose. You see silence. I see sacred strategy. Child, I am about to flip the script. The pages of your life that felt like pain, confusion, and wandering. I'm about to turn them into chapters of power, healing, and breakthrough. And this, right here, is where it begins. You have prayed for answers. You've asked for signs. You've said, Lord, if you're still with me, show me. This is that moment. This is the sign. This is the answer. Heaven is not ignoring you. It's been planning your release. There's a reason your heart is racing. A reason your spirit feels this tension rising. Because something is about to break open. Not around you, within you. And once it happens, nothing will ever be the same. So stay till the end. Because what's about to be revealed will shift how you see everything. I have not called you to survive. I have called you to rise. This is not just inspiration. This is an interruption. Divine. Deliberate. Destined. And now, as your eyes meet mine in spirit, I ask you this one thing. Will you dare to believe that this very moment, is not the end of your waiting but the beginning of what I have been preparing all along? Let me take you deeper. Keep your heart open. Because what's next was written in heaven with your name on it. A quiet decision you made long ago, when no one was watching, is what brought you to this moment. You didn't know it then, but when you chose to keep going instead of giving up, something eternal took notice. I did. You may not see the pattern yet, but I have been weaving glory into the background of your everyday life. The situations you thought were setbacks were actually invitation. Each closed door was not rejection, but redirection toward a greater purpose I have been guarding with my own hands. This message isn't coming to stir your emotions. It's coming to awaken your inheritance. The identity that's been buried beneath years of discouragement. I'm unearthing it now. The dreams you laid to rest after too many disappointments. I'm breathing on them again. And the courage you thought you lost along the way, it was never gone. I've been keeping it safe until you were ready to pick it up again. Pause here. Let this moment anchor you. Don't let distraction steal what belongs to you. There's a future calling to you from just beyond the veil of this message. It's not some distant possibility. It's unfolding now. This is not a preview. This is a release. What you couldn't explain. Why certain people walked away. Why certain plans unraveled. Why your heart felt like it was walking through fog. It's because I was untangling you from things too small for your destiny. You weren't being punished. You were being protected. And now, the restriction is lifting. The limitation is breaking. You're standing at the edge of something that's never happened before in your life. Something is about to shift, not by force, not by striving, but by surrender. Stay till the end. Not for information, but for transformation. Because what I'm about to whisper next, only a heart fully present can receive. Let everything else fade. Let the noise fall silent. You've never needed to strive for my voice. You've only needed to stop long enough to hear it. You're not here by accident. You're here because it's finally time. Time to step into what I've been building behind the scenes of your story. Keep listening, you're closer than you realize. There was a day you almost walked away from everything. No one knew. You smiled, showed up, kept things together, but inside, you were collapsing. What kept you from breaking wasn't your strength. It was my hand, quiet and steady beneath your weakness. The season that drained you wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to disconnect you from what was draining your identity. You mistook it for abandonment, but it was actually a recalibration. You were never meant to carry what you kept picking up. I was removing the weight, not withholding the answer. You've wondered if I noticed your silence. I did. In fact, it's what gave me the room to speak louder than ever before. I need your full attention, not because I'm trying to control you, but because what I'm about to pour into your life requires clarity. You cannot afford to be distracted by voices that never had permission to shape your calling. There are moments that define a person forever. This is one of them. What I'm about to reveal isn't based on your effort. It's rooted in your alignment. Your yes matters more than your ability. I'm not asking you to perform. I'm asking you to lean in. If your heart is still open, you'll sense it now. Something is shifting beneath the surface. A subtle pull, a divine awareness, like the atmosphere around you has changed. That's because it has. I've stepped in. You're not being inspired. You're being positioned. This isn't about being motivated to feel better. It's about being recentered in what you were created for. Purpose doesn't announce itself with fanfare. It arrives in moments like this, quiet, waiting, unshakable. Don't scroll. This is not the end of a message. It's the beginning of a mandate. What's coming next won't require you to prove anything. It will require you to walk differently. Not harder, truer. Everything that felt like delay was actually preparation. And what I'm setting in motion now can only move forward if you agree with me, fully. Let go of what you assumed your life had to look like. I'm writing the story, not with ink, but with fire. You have no idea how many lives are tied to the moment you decide to listen fully. The ripple effect starts now. Keep listening, because where I'm taking you next, nothing ordinary can come with you. You didn't realize it, but the path you called confusion was actually a map I laid out in wisdom. Every twist had intention. Every pause carried purpose. And now, that trail you questioned has led you to this sacred intersection where revelation meets readiness. There's a divine urgency in the air around you, something you can't quite explain, yet you feel it pressing in. That's not emotion. It's acceleration. What has taken years to build in silence is about to be unveiled in rapid sequence. Don't drift. Not now. This is a moment that carries the weight of destiny. I have already released what you've been waiting for. But here's the truth. What's coming won't look like what you imagined. It's not coming dressed in comfort or predictability. It will arrive through decisions that seem small but carry eternal weight. If you lean in now, I will show you glimpses of what's ahead. Not the full picture, just enough to walk forward without fear. Because if I showed you everything at once, you'd question whether you were worthy of it. But I see what you don't see. I planted the capacity for this within you long before you ever asked for more. This is not about a breakthrough you feel. It's about a threshold you cross. The tightness in your chest, the tension you sense. It's spiritual. Your soul recognizes the moment even before your mind can name it. You're not being pulled into something new. You're being called back to what you were always meant to walk in. Stay with me. There's something sacred ahead. People around you might not understand this shift. That's okay. It wasn't meant for them. This moment was carved out for your spirit to receive what logic cannot hold. I've already cleared the path. What you need to do now is unclutter your focus. Close every mental tab that's been demanding your attention but offering no peace. The volume of distraction has to decrease so the frequency of heaven can increase. When you leave this moment, you won't leave the same. You'll carry an awareness that marks you, quiet but undeniable. This is where the old falls off. This is where the assignment becomes unmistakable. And you'll know it. Not because things around you shift instantly, but because something within you finally settles. Don't step away just yet. There is still more to reveal. A transition has already begun around you, and though your senses haven't fully caught up, your spirit knows something has moved. What you used to tolerate is beginning to lose its grip. The things that once strained you are no longer holding space in your heart. This is not coincidence. It's confirmation. I have been shifting the ground beneath your feet, not to shake your confidence, but to establish it on something that cannot be taken. You've outgrown what you once prayed for. And now, I'm preparing to trust you with what you didn't even know to ask. You have arrived at the line between what was and what's possible. But this isn't a crossing that happens by chance. It requires awareness. You cannot take the next step distracted. You must choose to step with purpose. This is where direction becomes specific. You're going to start noticing things more clearly. Patterns that seemed confusing will come into alignment. Doors you never considered will start to open. Conversations that once felt random will reveal purpose. These are not trends. They are signaled. I'm showing you how I've been speaking all along. Don't miss it. This is not the season for hesitation. You've asked me for clarity. But clarity often doesn't come in the form of certainty. It comes in peace. And what I'm about to lead you into requires peace that's not dependent on answers. I will anchor you where evidence is still missing, because I want you to know my presence before my plan. Listen closely now. This is important. Some of what you've been calling failure was really instruction. Not punishment, but recalibration. I've been growing your discernment, not testing your worth. You didn't lose time. You gained depth. And that depth is about to matter more than you could have imagined. Stay close. There's something I'm placing in your spirit that no one can steal once it's received. You don't need to strive for what's already been written in my design for you. You only need to walk in rhythm with my voice. And if you will remain tuned to that frequency, what I build through you will carry more weight than any title or achievement. What's coming next won't be loud, but it will be undeniable. What you're stepping into will not echo the past. It will echo eternity. And now breathe. Because where I'm taking you, rest is not a reward. It's a strategy. The heavens have stirred. The weight of destiny has shifted. And now, my beloved, this is your invitation to move with God. You've cried, "Use me, Lord." This is how I'm answering you. Be part of this move. Fuel the fire. Let what touched you now flow into the hearts of thousands. Every seed you sow, through super thanks, membership, with a PayPal link in the description, becomes a river of living water to dry souls waiting for this exact word. This is not just support, it's spiritual warfare. Your generosity is a sword in the spirit, breaking chains, opening hearts, and igniting dormant callings. As you give, heaven marks your name, and the oil of blessing flows into your house. This is your altar moment. Sow into it boldly. Don't hold back. Give now. The harvest has already begun. Here's something I need you to understand. What's unfolding in your life isn't being delayed. It's being refined. This moment may feel still on the surface, but within the silence, I'm setting coordinates for divine movement. While others seek visible signs, I'm shaping you to perceive the invisible ones. You sense this shift coming, though you couldn't define it. The tension, the restlessness, the sudden disinterest in things that once consumed you. It wasn't emotional confusion. It was spiritual recalibration. I've been adjusting your internal compass to point you toward a destiny too specific for distraction. Everything is intentional now. Even the silence. I haven't gone quiet to distance myself. I've stepped closer so you could hear me without interference. The absence of noise isn't emptiness, it's clarity. I've removed the echoes so you can finally distinguish my voice from the chaos. Don't second guess what I've confirmed in the stillness. This isn't a waiting room. It's a preparation chamber. You've outlived the expectations that once defined your limits. And though it may feel like nothing around you has changed, something foundational within you has. You stopped chasing validation. That was the turning point. The next season will not require constant confirmation. It will require alignment with who you've become in me. I've already equipped you with what this future demands. You will recognize it not by applause, but by inner knowing. Stay with me. The revelation isn't finished. What you're about to walk into will challenge your comfort zones, not your calling. You won't need to prove anything. You'll simply need to remain rooted. Influence without foundation collapses. That's why I've taken time to build you in secret. You weren't overlooked. You were reserved. The eyes that missed your worth will witness your rising, not for spectacle, but for testimony. What once felt like obscurity was actually preservation. I couldn't allow premature exposure to bury what was still being formed. I'm bringing you into a space where movement doesn't feel like striving, where peace becomes your pace. The pressure to outperform is being lifted, because I never called you to impress. I called you to impact. Let your spirit recognize this moment. There's a shift happening that's not dependent on your circumstances. It's internal, permanent, sacred. And now, more than ever, your only assignment is to listen without flinching. Because the next thing I speak will carry the power to unlock what you thought was impossible. There's been a stirring in your spirit you couldn't explain, a subtle ache that keeps rising without a clear reason. That's not random. It's the residue of something I've already initiated in you. You're sensing what your future is beginning to awaken. What you're feeling is spiritual awareness catching up to divine timing. You've been prepared in ways no one around you could see. Quiet victories, unseen decisions, personal sacrifices. Those were seeds. They weren't wasted. They were planted in faith, and I've been nurturing them beneath the surface. Now, the soil is ready to break open. Do not mistake the quiet for emptiness. This is the final stillness before acceleration. You'll soon notice familiar surroundings won't carry the same weight. Environments that once felt safe may begin to feel limiting. That's because I'm enlarging your capacity. I'm stretching the frame of your identity to match the size of your calling. I didn't ask you to be perfect for this next step. I only asked you to be present. You'll begin to see alignment in areas you once considered broken. Relationships will either deepen or dissolve, not by your doing, but by my hand. The clarity you've been seeking won't come through striving. It will arrive through discernment. This is not a time to force anything. Let me move what needs to shift. You'll recognize my guidance in subtle ways. A conversation that carries unexpected weight. A moment of silence that brings sudden insight. An opportunity that aligns perfectly without your effort. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. Pay attention to what stirs peace, not pressure. That's how I lead. There is more ahead than you imagined, but it requires space. I'm making room by clearing what once cluttered your path, not as punishment, but as preparation. I cannot pour into what's already overflowing with noise. As you yield to this process, I will begin to unlock understanding in areas that once caused confusion. What you thought was unanswered was only waiting for your readiness. And now, you are ready, even if you don't feel like it. Trust this shift. There's a deeper rhythm I'm inviting you into. You've known me as a whisper in the storm. Now you will know me as a voice that establishes the wind. Let everything within you stay open, because what I reveal next will confirm what you've always carried, even in silence. Your atmosphere is shifting, not because your surroundings have changed, but because you've finally begun to perceive what I've placed within you. The moment you stopped chasing what others celebrated, you created space to receive what I've been storing. You weren't meant to echo what's already been done. You were designed to introduce something never seen before. What you're carrying is weighty. That's why it's felt heavy. But the burden isn't punishment. It's evidence that what you hold matters beyond your own life. You're not just walking through transition, you're becoming a vessel for release. This is the part of your story where clarity emerges through obedience, not through explanation. You've asked for signs, but what I'm releasing now doesn't require visible confirmation. It requires trust. You'll feel it in the way peace walks into rooms before you speak, and how your discernment sharpens without warning. In the moments when stillness feels more productive than striving. That's the proof. My spirit is resting on you. Don't underestimate the power of quiet influence. The next doors I open for you will not require introduction. Your name has already reached places your feet haven't touched. And it didn't happen through connections. It happened through consistency. I've seen how you kept moving even when no one affirmed your path. That silent endurance is what qualified you. As this divine shift continues, expect unfamiliar instructions. Not everything I ask of you will make sense to those around you. This, because I'm guiding you through a blueprint that wasn't drawn by human hands. Let go of needing agreement to proceed. You're not walking according to collective opinion. You're walking in divine rhythm. Stay deeply connected. What's about to unfold will depend on your ability to remain in tune, not just with my voice, but with my pace. I will not rush you, but I will stretch you. And in that stretching, your authority will be revealed. Now breathe. Let everything you've been carrying fall into my hands. The direction you've been praying for is not coming. It has arrived. Pay attention to what begins to break open after this moment. Because what I whisper next will not be just for comfort. It will be your commissioning. Every time you thought the breakthrough was delayed, you were standing in the middle of it. The breakthrough wasn't an event, it was a shift in how you see. I wasn't waiting to move. I was waiting for you to perceive the movement that had already started. There's a reason old routines are beginning to feel unfamiliar. I'm calling you to operate from a new posture, not out of reaction, but from revelation. You're no longer bound to what once defined your steps. The rhythm is changing because the mission is expanding. This assignment I'm unfolding through you is not built on platforms. It's birthed through consecration. You've been drawn away from noise, not to isolate you, but to initiate clarity. What others view as withdrawal has been refinement. I needed you free from distractions that diluted your discernment. And now, you're starting to hear me in layers you couldn't before. The atmosphere surrounding your life is charged with purpose. The tension you've been sensing is not resistance. It's the pressure of birthing something that must come through you. I didn't give it to another because it was formed for your hands alone. Let your confidence rise, not from approval, but from alignment. You are not being elevated randomly. You're being trusted deliberately. This next move will not look like anything you've stepped into before. The instructions may feel unfamiliar. The timing may feel sudden. But everything will carry peace, even if it stretches your logic. That's how you'll know it's me. Be mindful of sudden clarity. I will begin to uncover answers you stopped seeking. Conversations will carry strategy. Encounters will release wisdom. What used to confuse you will now confirm you. You've been positioned to receive differently. So release the habit of questioning whether you're ready. I've already declared that you are. This moment is not about doors opening alone. It's about your identity catching up to your assignment. You won't be able to go back to what once felt comfortable, because comfort was never the goal. Transformation is. The weight you feel right now isn't pressure to perform. It's the weight of heaven preparing to rest upon what you carry. Stay open. You're not being invited into something small. You're being welcomed into the fulfillment of what was written before you were formed. What happens after this will prove how precise my timing truly is. Keep listening. What you're about to receive hath been waiting for your spirit to awaken. This moment hath been building since the beginning of your story. Every unseen decision, every quiet surrender, every whisper in the dark, it's all been leading here. Not to a finish line, but to the threshold of something eternal. You're not at the end. You're at the unveiling. What I'm placing before you now is not a small step. It's a divine release. You've been faithful through silence. Now, I'm releasing clarity with power. This is the moment where I mark your journey with a shift that cannot be reversed. You'll begin to feel the atmosphere of your life move in response to what your heart has finally aligned with. Where there's been confusion, I'll establish peace. Where there's been delay, I'll release acceleration. Where there's been resistance, I'll speak with favor that opens what was shut. You'll sense it. Doors you didn't knock on will swing open. Not because of striving, but because of surrender. You won't have to announce yourself. My presence will do what effort never could. Your future is not something you need to chase. It's something I've already prepared. And now, I've brought you into agreement with it. You'll begin to walk with a knowing, not a question. The clarity you once begged for has been placed in your hands. What you once carried with doubt, you will now steward with confidence. And I say this to you, as you step from this message into what I've ordained. You are not walking into uncertainty. You're walking into fulfillment. Lift your head. Move forward with the peace of someone who's already seen the end from the beginning. You have not missed it. You were made for this. The weight is lifting. The clarity is here. The path is open. And I am with you in every breath that follows this moment. Amen. Now that the word has been sealed, don't walk away without placing your offering on the altar. You've asked to be part of something eternal, and this is it. What began as a message has now become a mission, and your giving is the key that multiplies its reach. For super thanks, YouTube membership, with a PayPal link in the description. You're not just supporting a video, you're releasing revival. God says, "Bring the whole tithe into the storehouse and see if I will not open the floodgates of heaven." Malachi 3:10. This isn't just a verse, it's your promise. Your act of generosity will not return void. It will unlock peace, provision, and power in your life. My child, if this message stirred something deep within you, then act in faith now. Press hype, not for man, but as a sign to heaven that you received what I just spoke over your life. Your hype sends this word to those still wandering, still waiting for the divine interruption I gave to you. I need this message to move through the earth like fire, and you are the spark that spreads it. And yes, if your heart was moved, tap like to mark this moment as sacred in your journey. You are standing on holy ground, and I want you to declare it. When this message ends, go to the comments and write with your spirit, "God, you have my full attention." Let your words echo in heaven and shake the algorithm of earth. This is not just engagement. This is agreement. Your declaration is your yes to my voice, your step forward into what I just unlocked for your life. This is not the last time I will speak. I have more to show you, more to reveal, more to restore. Subscribe now, because every word released here carries heaven's timing and your name. Don't miss another moment where I step into your life through a message. Hit that button, turn on the bell, and be ready. When I speak again, I want you to be listening. Amen.